starting a successful business enterprise is a profoundly ethical endeavor in the deepest sense, as far as I'm concerned. This is part of what makes me interested in Bitcoin too, because the cynical view, and many academics share this because they're jealous and they tend to sit on the left, both of those. They like to think of the capitalist enterprise as something that's fundamentally predicated on exploitation. And I think that's wrong on so many levels of analysis simultaneously that it's only possible that someone intelligent and resentful could possibly believe it. Because that isn't what you do when you run a business, unless you're a parasite. And if you are, you're not going to last very long. If you're running a valid business in a free market system, you have to offer people who could choose otherwise, freely, something they value freely. Then you have to deliver it. Then it has to work reliably. And all of that's ethical. You promise to pay me, I promise to deliver, I do deliver, the thing I deliver works. If it doesn't work, I solve the problem. And if I don't do that, I'll develop a very bad reputation very, very rapidly, because there's nothing that destroys you quicker than unhappy customers, because word of mouth spreads exponentially, and the whole bloody thing shudders to a halt. And so one of the things I would suggest to all of you burgeoning entrepreneurs is that you don't be defensive about the ethics of your capitalistic enterprise. Quite the contrary, you should be on the offensive, claiming, like forthrightly, that what you're doing is profoundly ethical, in that you're providing free people, free customers, the option to make free choices about what they value. It's like, what's wrong with that?
Wow. Cheers to that.
People are easily set back on their heels ethically when confronted by those kinds of accusations. You know, this capitalist system is nothing but a system of exploitation. And what's the proof? Well, look at your profit, and all that profit is the exploitation of others. It's like, no, that's not true. First of all, you can't run your enterprise profitably unless you run it efficiently and intelligently, because there's nothing that slips through the hands of a fool faster than money. And so if you manage to run it profitably, then that's actually an indication of your care and conscientiousness and dutifulness and ethical orientation. And then if you have even 1/10 of a clue, you take that profit and you don't do something narrowly, selfishly, and pointlessly hedonistic with it. You invest it in your enterprise, or in a parallel enterprise, and you try to make more goods and services available to more people. And if people accuse you of nothing but greed in your attempts to do that, then I would say that says a hell of a lot more about the accusers and their worldview than it does about you, because all of that turns out to be really hard. Here's two other justifications for capitalism and for free markets. The first is that it gives warlike people something to do that isn't destructive. Right? And okay, that's worth thinking about, because that desire to expand, that desire to build empire, let's say, that's not all pathological. And capitalism does allow people to generate their own kingdom, right? And hopefully one that other people want to partake in. And so that's a really big deal, that's a mechanism that enables us to productively harness the aggressive and assertive element of the human personality. That's to be able to transmute that into something positive. That's an unbelievably useful enterprise, and capitalism doesn't get any credit for that, and that's sad. And then the other thing is that I run every single project I am involved in on a for-profit basis. And the reason for that isn't so much that I want the profit, although I'm not averse to that, and maybe I can do some additional interesting things with the money. But one of the things that I have learned is that it's really good discipline. If you can't make your idea attractive enough to other people so that they're willing to give you money for it, it's possible that it's a stupid idea, or that you're doing it badly. And you actually need to know that, because it's back to the zombie problem.
Right.
You think, well, we shouldn't subsidize zombies. It's fair enough. Do you want to be one? Well, I can limp along and someone will support me. Well, that's not life, and if you run your enterprises by the profit maxim, it disciplines you and stops you from makes you fail when you should fail. And you think, well, I don't want to fail. It's like, it's better than limping along half dead. So, all right. Good.
Thank you so much.